Face your fears. Zen's path to deep sleep and emotional healing. You see, the suffering isn't in the fear itself. It's in the struggle against it. When we resist fear, we give it power. When we deny it, it grows heavier. When we pretend it's not there, it knocks louder. It shows up as insomnia, anxiety, racing thoughts, and the deep sleep we long for feels farther away. In Zen, there's no need to fight fear, because fear is not separate from you. It's a part of the human experience, an echo of care, of attachment, of memory. And what Zen invites you to do is not escape that experience, but become aware of it without attachment. This is the still way, the middle path, the quiet choice to stop running. The world teaches us to hide our discomfort, to distract and delay, but Zen teaches us to look inward with courage and stillness, not to solve everything, but to stop running. That stillness, that sacred pause, is the doorway to deep sleep. When you no longer resist your fear, your body softens, your breath deepens, your nervous system begins to rest, and sleep doesn't need to be chased anymore. It gently arrives, like a friend who finally feels welcome. So if fear knocks again tonight, don't fight it. Don't run. Just sit. Let it be there, beside you. Let it breathe with you. And trust, even in the silence, that something in you is healing. Zen isn't about becoming fearless. It's about becoming free, free to feel without being consumed, free to sleep without having to escape. And when that freedom begins to grow, so does your peace. And when peace comes, deep sleep isn't far behind. In tonight's journey, before we begin, a gentle note: this isn't just a video, it's a space. A quiet space where you are allowed to pause, to breathe, to let go. There will be moments of silence woven into this journey, no voice, no words, only soft music and your breath. These are not empty spaces. They are part of the meditation. Moments for your mind to rest, for your heart to soften. Let them hold you, not rush you. And as we near the end, you'll notice the sound gently fading, easing you into deep sleep. Without effort, if you are still here, fully present until the last breath of this journey, you'll receive a small gift, a simple bedtime practice. Not just to help you sleep, but to slowly, gently, transform how you live. Let us begin now, together. In Gentle 1. Why fear haunts us at night and what Zen reveals. It's always at night, isn't it? When the world grows quiet, and the lights go out, your mind doesn't follow. Instead, it starts to speak, soft at first, then louder. Thoughts you kept buried all day begin to rise. Fear shows up like an uninvited guest, and stays. In the stillness of the night, there's no one to distract you. No emails to answer. No meetings to run to. No scrolling through endless feeds. Just you, and the echoes within. It can feel overwhelming, but from the lens of Zen, this is not a curse. It is an invitation. Zen wisdom reminds us that what arises in silence is not there to harm us, but to be seen, felt, and understood. The night becomes a mirror, and what it reflects is not your weakness, but your humanness. Fear, especially the kind that sneaks into bed with you, isn't something to push away. It's energy, it's a signal. And according to Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, fear keeps us focused on the past or worried about the future. If we can acknowledge our fear, we can realize that right now we are okay. This is the heart of Zen practice: not to run, not to numb, but to be with what is, especially when what is feels uncomfortable. You see, many people try to chase deep sleep the way they chase success, forcefully, with expectation, and often with frustration when it doesn't come. But sleep is not something you conquer. It's something you surrender to. And to surrender, you must first soften. And fear doesn't like softening. It wants tension. It feeds on control. So what happens when you stop trying to fix your fear and simply sit beside it? What if, instead of pushing it away, you welcomed it as a tired friend knocking on your door? Zen teaches us this gentle paradox. The moment you stop fighting fear, its grip loosens, not because it disappears, but because you're no longer caught in its storm. You become the sky, not the weather. At night, fear may rise in the shape of worries. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I never feel okay again? And in the noise of those what ifs, you forget that the now is always more gentle than your mind's projections. Zen doesn't offer a solution in the form of escape. It offers presence. That presence, the act of being with what is, holds the medicine for deep sleep. And yes, that word again, deep sleep, not the kind you force, but the kind that finds you when you stop searching. When you invite Zen into your bedtime, you're not performing a ritual. You're returning to breath, to body, to the quiet truth that even in your fear, you are held. You are safe. You are enough. As Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist, once said, what you resist not only persists, but will grow in size. In the soft language of the night, Zen tells us the same, gently, patiently, without blame. So tonight, when fear visits, do not slam the door. Open it, offer it tea, breathe deeply, and remember, fear is not the enemy of sleep, your resistance is. Let yourself fall, slowly, into presence, into silence, and there, in that sacred stillness, deep sleep will find you, not as an escape, but as a gentle homecoming. 2. Running from fear creates suffering. Zen teaches the still way. There's a moment, right before you drift into sleep, when your body is still. But your mind isn't. You've turned off the lights, closed your eyes, but something inside keeps moving. A familiar restlessness, a tightness in your chest. It's fear, rising again, soft, shapeless, yet undeniably real. Most of us have been taught, in one way or another, to escape it, to turn on the TV, to scroll a little more, to take a pill, or to pretend we're fine. We tell ourselves that fear is the problem, that if we can just get rid of it, we'll finally sleep deeply. But Zen teaches something very different. Zen does not see fear as the enemy. Fear is not a monster to slay, nor a flaw to fix. It is simply a visitor, one that becomes louder only when we run. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "Leave your front door and your back door open. Allow your thoughts to come and go. Just don't serve them tea." But most nights, we don't just serve fear tea, we feed it. We sit with it, we spiral with it, not out of choice, but out of habit. You see, the suffering isn't in the fear itself. It's in the struggle against it. When we resist fear, we give it power. When we deny it, it grows heavier. When we pretend it's not there, it knocks louder. It shows up as insomnia, anxiety, racing thoughts, and the deep sleep we long for feels farther away. In Zen, there's no need to fight fear. Because fear is not separate from you. It's a part of the human experience, an echo of care, of attachment, of memory. And what Zen invites you to do is not escape that experience, but become aware of it without attachment. This is the still way, the middle path, the quiet choice to stop running. When fear arises, the Zen approach is gentle. You return to your breath. You notice where the fear lives in your body. Is it in your chest? Your jaw? Your belly? You breathe into that space, without judgment, without fixing, just noticing. Because in that noticing, something magical happens. You create space, and in that space, fear begins to soften. It no longer needs to scream, because it has finally been heard. The world often teaches us to numb pain, but Zen teaches us to feel fully, to stay, even when it's uncomfortable, especially then, because the path to deep sleep is not paved with control, but with surrender, not the surrender of giving up, but the surrender of letting be. And the healing? It doesn't come in big, dramatic awakenings. It comes slowly, like a river carving stone, night after night, as you choose to stay still instead of escape. The fear loses its weight, and in that stillness, the body remembers how to rest. There's no need to chase sleep, no need to push fear out. Just breathe, just be. As the Zen saying goes, when you sit quietly, doing nothing, spring comes and the grass grows by itself. So tonight, instead of asking, how do I stop being afraid? Try asking, can I be with my fear without running? That single shift is the beginning of peace, the beginning of homecoming, the beginning of deep sleep, not just for your body, but for your soul. Three. Zen's invitation: sit with fear, not fight it. Imagine this. It's late. The house is quiet. The lights are low. You lie in bed, hoping sleep will come, but it doesn't. Instead, fear gently knocks. Not loud, not violent, just a tap, a whisper. And in that moment, Zen doesn't tell you to shut the door. It invites you to open it, just enough to sit with what's there. There's a story in the Zen tradition about a student who went to his master and said, "I am so afraid, I cannot sleep. My thoughts are loud, my chest is tight. What should I do?" The master replied simply, "Make tea, and invite your fear to sit beside you. No fighting. No fixing, just presence." This is the radical kindness of Zen. It doesn't try to erase fear. It respects it. It knows fear, like all emotions, comes and goes like clouds in a passing sky. You are not your fear. You are the sky. Most of us grow up thinking that fear is weakness, that if we feel afraid, we must be broken. But Zen offers another view, one that's soft, compassionate, and deeply human. Zen says, fear is not the problem. Your resistance to it is. You don't need to do anything to your fear. You don't need to push it away or analyze it into silence. You only need to breathe and stay. When you sit with fear, truly sit, without story, without shame, something begins to shift. You realize it's not as big as it once seemed. It's not a monster. It's just a part of you asking for light. And in that light, fear begins to dissolve, not because you forced it, but because you finally saw it. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once said, if you get caught in fear and anger, your happiness and peace will vanish. But when you can touch those emotions with mindfulness, they become compost for your joy. So instead of trying to suppress your fear tonight, can you place your hand gently over your heart and say to yourself, I see you, it's okay, I'm not going anywhere. Because that's what fear truly wants, not control, not solutions. It wants your presence. The world teaches us to hide our discomfort, to distract and delay. But Zen teaches us to look inward with courage and stillness. Not to solve everything, but to stop running. That stillness, that sacred pause, is the doorway to deep sleep. When you no longer resist your fear, your body softens, your breath deepens, your nervous system begins to rest, and sleep doesn't need to be chased anymore. It gently arrives, like a friend who finally feels welcome. So if fear knocks again tonight, don't fight it. Don't run. Just sit. Let it be there, beside you. Let it breathe with you. And trust, even in the silence, that something in you is healing. Zen isn't about becoming fearless. It's about becoming free, free to feel without being consumed, free to sleep without having to escape. And when that freedom begins to grow, so does your peace. And when peace comes, deep sleep isn't far behind. 4. Breathing through fear. Zen practices for night calm. There is a quiet kind of courage that lives in the breath. Not the loud kind that shouts or rushes into battle. Not the kind you see in movies or read about in stories. This courage is softer. It arrives in the stillness, when you're lying awake. Heart heavy, thoughts circling like restless birds. And you choose, not to run, but to stay. And in that moment, you remember the simplest, most sacred gift, your breath. Zen doesn't give you a complicated map to escape fear or fix your insomnia. It offers something more subtle, more real. It teaches you how to return to the present through the breath. To meet each moment, not with resistance, but with awareness. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, whose voice has brought peace to millions, once said, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. And in those quiet hours of the night, when fear feels like an ocean rising inside you, that anchor becomes everything. So let's begin, right here, right now. Breathe in, gently, slowly. Feel the breath move through your nose, your chest, your belly, and breathe out with ease. No forcing, no pushing, just letting go. This is not a breathing technique to make fear go away. This is a way of being with fear, like sitting with an old friend who's hurting. No need to fix, just stay present. You don't have to believe anything. You don't have to be good at meditating. You only have to show up for yourself. And that begins with a breath. In Zen, this is called shikantaza, just sitting. It's not a doing, It's a being. When the mind spins with fear, when the body tightens in anxiety, Zen reminds us, return to the body, to the breath, to the place where the storm can pass without pulling you in. Try this tonight, as you lie in bed. Gently bring your attention to your breath. No pressure, no goal, just an awareness, soft, open, and kind. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, exhale through your mouth. 4, 5, let each exhale be a small release. A surrender. Let it carry away the tension, the stories, the need to control. Notice where the fear lives in your body. Is it your jaw? Soften it. Your chest? Place a hand over your heart. Your stomach? Let it loosen, like waves falling back into the sea. And with each breath, say silently, I am here. I am safe. I am breathing. That's it. That's the practice. That's Zen. No incense needed. No altar. No chants. Just you, and this moment, and the breath that carries you through. Sometimes, we expect deep sleep to come like a switch, on or off. But Zen teaches that sleep, like peace, is not something you chase. It's something you invite by letting go. And letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means loosening your grip on the need to control every thought, every fear, every outcome. It means trusting that your body knows how to rest when you stop interfering. There's a quiet miracle that happens when you let yourself be. The nervous system begins to settle. The heart rate slows. The brain moves into softer rhythms. And eventually, you drift into deep sleep. Naturally, not by force, but by surrender. This is how Zen heals, not with noise, but with presence, not by changing what is, but by fully accepting it. You are not broken because you're afraid. You are not failing because you can't sleep. You are human, and fear is simply a messenger. When you greet it with breath and kindness, it no longer has power over you. It becomes part of the night, like the wind outside, or the shadows on the wall. Something you can acknowledge, and then let pass. And in that stillness, something beautiful opens. The silence becomes a friend. The fear becomes smaller, and deep sleep becomes possible, not as escape, but as a return. Zen doesn't promise you a life without fear. It offers you a relationship with fear that is rooted in compassion. It reminds you that the path to healing isn't about perfection. It's about presence. And tonight, presence begins with a breath. So as you settle into bed, let the breath be your lullaby. Let the body soften with each exhale. Let the fear be there, if it needs to, and know it cannot harm you. You are here. You are safe. You are breathing, and slowly, gently, with nothing to prove and no one to impress, you are finding your way home. To your body, to this moment, to the deep sleep you deserve, and to the peace that was never far away. 5. From fear to freedom, emotional healing is a gateway to deep sleep. There comes a point, somewhere between fear and stillness, where something unexpected happens, not a miracle, not a sudden breakthrough, but a quiet, tender shift. The fear is still there, but it no longer defines the night. You're not gripping it. You're not lost inside it. You're simply breathing and present. Zen teaches that this presence is the first step to freedom. Not freedom from fear, but freedom with fear, the kind that lets you walk alongside it, like an old companion who no longer scares you. Deep healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it arrives like silence in a dark room. like breath returning after you forgot you were holding it, like sleep washing over a tired body that finally feels safe. When we stop resisting our emotions, when we give up the endless trying to fix ourselves, something beautiful unfolds. We return to what Zen calls our original nature, a state of wholeness, spaciousness, and compassion. Zen master Dogen once wrote, "To study the way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. And to forget the self is to be awakened by all things." This forgetting of the self is not about disappearing. It's about dropping the armor, the striving, the inner critic, the stories that keep you up at night. And in that release, your heart becomes soft enough for peace to enter. You see, deep sleep isn't just a physical rest. It's emotional rest. It's the body's permission to trust the moment again, to stop defending, to stop rehearsing pain. And Zen, in all its quiet wisdom, doesn't ask you to be perfect to receive that rest. It only asks you to show up, to sit, to breathe, to feel, to be real. Tonight, let this be your gateway. Let the fear you faced become the doorway you walked through. Let the breath be the bridge. Let the stillness be your home. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to heal in one night. You only need to begin. And in this beginning, something soft inside you says, "I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to feel. I am allowed to sleep." If you're still here, listening at the end of this video, thank you. Truly, that means you didn't run from your fear tonight. You sat with it, you stayed, and that, dear friend, is the beginning of transformation. Here is your reward, a small, simple practice to bring tonight's Zen wisdom into your daily life. Practice the 3-breath pause. Each day, whenever you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or tired, pause for just 3 conscious breaths. Inhale gently, exhale slowly, and in your mind, say, "Here, breathing, safe." This simple act, done regularly, trains your nervous system to return to presence and calm. Over time, this tiny moment becomes a powerful gateway to peace, not just during the night, but throughout your waking life. As we close tonight's journey, a gentle reminder, if you wish to listen longer, to fall asleep to hours of uninterrupted Zen storytelling and soft healing, you can go to our playlist, Zen for Deep Sleep. There, multiple videos will play automatically, crafted to flow together gently, keeping your heart open and your mind calm. For 1, 2, or even 3 hours or more. Or, if a 30-minute session like tonight feels just right, stay here. You'll find more videos just like this one, created for healing, stillness, and the deep rest your body truly needs. And if this video touched you in any way, if a sentence, a breath, a silence helped you feel less alone, please share your thoughts in the comments. Your words help this community grow. They help others feel seen. And we truly read and cherish every message. This is more than a channel. This is a shared path. A place to return to. A place to rest. Don't forget to subscribe to Buddhism in You so you never miss another night of healing. We're here with you, every evening, holding space for your breath, your story, your stillness. See you tomorrow night, here. Until then, may your dreams be peaceful, your heart be light, and your sleep be deep.